So if you don't know them...
My freedom of speech, my freedom of speech, my freedom of speech, my freedom of speech!
So if you don't know them...
Hey, how you doing? It's Bob. I want to talk about something serious that's dear to my heart because it happened to my friend. It could happen to your friend. It can happen to anybody that you know. It's the heroin epidemic. It started with OxyContin being spread by Big Pharma like crazy when it was only supposed to be used in hospitals. And this became an epidemic. And when people's insurance ran out or the regular doctors decided they didn't need pain management anymore, they got their supply cut off of the pills. So then they went to street pills. Street pills became very expensive. So now all these people who wanted their oxys and their pain relief have become mad addicted, and now they're shooting heroin. It's all types of people. My friend was a young professional, my age, went to high school with him. We partied back in the day. He was the kind of guy that could do drugs or leave him alone. I mean, even cocaine and shit like that. This heroin thing, it got him by the balls. It landed him in jail. It ruined his relationship with his mother, ruined his relationship with his family, and it's ruining his relationship with me because we live 1,200 miles away, and we used to talk all the time. And now if I don't hear from him in a week, I think he's dead on the street somewhere. And this is happening all across America. In Florida, it got really bad because we had the majority of the pill mills, and they shut them all down, and they didn't open any treatment centers. So the methadone clinics are overflooded. The jails are overflooded with heroin addicts and heroin-related crimes. The cops are nervous. I mean, they even have to watch out now because, it's dangerous for them too, not just as police officers, but coming into contact with the drug now is dangerous because they're cutting it with all sorts of crazy shit, including elephant tranquilizers. Yes, I said elephant tranquilizers.
A drug used to sedate elephants and other large animals, 100 times as potent as fentanyl, is suspected in spates of overdoses in several states. According to the Associated Press, authorities say they found it mixed with or passed off as heroin. Carfentanil is one of the most potent opiates known to investigators. Its appearance on the drug scene adds another twist in the fight against painkillers in a country already awash in heroin.
I have a few clips I'm going to show you. I don't really want to comment too much on them. But this is one about the police.
The street version of fentanyl blamed in the deaths of thousands of Americans is also threatening police officers. Law enforcement officials say changes are being forced in long-standing basics of drug investigations, from confiscations to testing and undercover operations, because of how easily the drug can be absorbed through the skin or inhaled when airborne. As drugs such as heroin, cocaine, and counterfeit prescription pills are now commonly laced with fentanyl to increase potency, overdose deaths have surged. Tommy Farmer, special agent in charge of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, said a speck the size of a few grains of salt can potentially kill a 250-pound man. Because such a small amount can be deadly, police agencies, big and small, are changing the way they go about keeping officers safe. Agents are even trained in how to give themselves the anti-overdose Narcan in case of accidental exposure to fentanyl.
Here's another one about what's going on in Cincinnati.
Well, in this case, witnesses tell me a man came stumbling out of an alleyway and collapsed on the ground. And just as paramedics were finishing up with this overdose, they raced off to another. A fire official I spoke with calls this all just crazy.
Yet again, this deadly drug nearly claiming another life.
They talk about sickness and stuff. This is beyond sickness.
Gary Thomas has been living in Lower Price Hill for 55 years.
This community has never been like this.
On Thursday night, first responders called to this alleyway for a man unresponsive on the pavement.
He was one of my best friends. He did it yesterday, and he did it today again.
This heroin overdose is one of more than 80 in just 3 days around the tri-state.
Waiting, guy will drive by, hand in the window, grab something, run over to his car, drive off.
Through downtown and along Collins Avenue in East Walnut Hills. Ethan Cola's only lived here a few months, but he and police know this is a hot spot.
Sometimes I'll walk underneath the bridge and I'll find like needles.
We took a look ourselves, finding bloody gauze caps and needle casings. Up the street, an empty box of Narcan used in this latest string of ODs.
It's pretty scary.
And even scarier for first responders, not knowing exactly what's in this deadly cocktail of drugs. If one thing's for certain, we're told something has to change.
Let's be strong and stay together, because this is what this community's not about.
Now we're told the man in this case was rushed to a nearby hospital, and firefighters say they were able to revive him, but law enforcement sending a clear message to drug dealers around the tri-state. They say both state and federal agencies will be working to hunt them down. For now,
The video originally was only 78 overdoses in 2 days, and in the week that followed, I think it went up to something like 116. I'll try to find an article to put in the description about it, but it's not funny.
This is bullshit.
Please be on the lookout, because you don't know what a drug addict looks like anymore. It's your mother, your father, your doctor, your lawyer, the nurses. People in the medical profession are especially susceptible to this because it's easy for them to get drugs. Anesthesiologists were doing that stuff that killed Michael Jackson long before we heard of it. This Oxycontin, oxycodone, Percocets, all of them are synthetic heroin, but they're better because they hit your brain better. Now, fentanyl, which is 50 times more potent, was the cut of choice. Anyway, guys, please, 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 try to be on the lookout. Try to help your fellow man. Don't judge a book by its cover. Just because somebody's an addict doesn't mean they're going to be an addict forever. But if they don't get help, it's going to kill them. And I hope this maybe enlightens some people. And knock on wood, I hope it saves some lives. All right, thanks.
What are you doing here? I'm roving. Roving, are you? I'm looking for a hot car. $5.
You take all of it? All right, yeah, let's make this quick.